offices of the Newark Public Schools. A copy of the meeting notice was also forwarded to City Hall for posting. This is a regular board meeting for Tuesday, March 28, 2018. 27.
Please stand for the flag salute. Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Bledsoe.
Present.
Ms. Porter.
Present.
Ms. Fonseca. Ms. Gaddy. Ms. Garcia.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Present.
Ms. Owens.
Present.
Vice Chair Padilla.
Present.
Chair Lewis.
Present.
Quorum is present, Mr. Chair.
Now we'll have greetings from both principals of Barringer STEAM, and also Barringer Arts. Ms. Minty, want to come first?
Good evening, everyone. So I am Principal Mincy, and I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Barringer campus. I was trying to decide what I wanted to say this evening, but I'm going to narrow it down into 4 key points. So, point 1, we've come a long way since my arrival in 2014. Just as a side note, there have been 17 principals between the 2 Barringers since 2010. In any event, Barringer's theme today is nothing like the one that I inherited. When I was sent here 2 weeks before school opened with 30 vacancies in the midst of a scheduling crisis, with the national spotlight surrounding the launch of One Newark, we also had more than 200 students who showed up to our school the first day. They were not on our roster. So needless to say, it was the worst possible scenario for a new principal. Truth be told, that's not really good for a veteran either. And a lot of people warned me that I must have been crazy to take a job that no one else wanted. But I'm so glad that I did, I really am, because since that time, nearly everything in the building has improved, from the quality of teachers and the course offerings to our new parent ESL classes. We've offered opened a food pantry for families in a larger community. We've made modest gains in attendance. Our students are in uniform. The climate and culture of the building has improved significantly. Even my work in Spanish is improving. That's a big deal for this whole room. Point 2, if I had to describe this moment in time for Newark Public Schools, it would be full circle. So I was teaching 2nd grade at Warren Street School. Ms. Nelson, she was my former principal when I was a student at Camden Middle. She was flying in, just like she is now. I owe her this career. And she was also the assistant superintendent for SLT1 when the state takeover began. And so those were just such scary times, just followed by years of unpredictability, instability, and just an abundance of missed opportunities. And so, we have to right this wrong. This moment is ours to show the world that we can improve the educational outcomes of all the students in the city. And we have to do that with integrity, candor, and transparency. We also can't fall prey to believing that one size fits all for our students when our students are so academically, socially, emotionally, artistically, and culturally diverse. At Barringer STEAM alone, we have 35 different nationalities of students, with students from United States, followed closely by Dominican Republic, all the way down to our lone student, Andre, who is from Russia. By the way, he is thriving in the school, and he is killing the robotics game. Third, this is a genuine plea. I need your help, right? So it's exhausting, hearing people talk about what's wrong at Barringer. And so we really do need help. The school is easy to politicize. It always has been, even when I was a student here. And it's so unfair that there are a lot of people who will point a finger and they've never lifted one to help us out or even paid us a visit. And we have real needs to continue to turn the school around. In fact, just last month, we invited a lot of stakeholders from the greater community to come help us build engaging STEAM-based tracks. And we had over 40 representatives from Greater Newark Conservancy and Claret Hospital to the Newark STEAM Coalition and Mars Wrigley. And they came eager and equipped with ideas. And that's the kind of help that we need. We are having a follow-up on May 31st. If any of you are interested in attending, we would love to have you. And this is my last point. Life has no guarantees, but I can guarantee you that if you are genuinely here to help me, that my team and I will genuinely deliver results, because at my core, I love the kids in this city, You know, a lot of people work in education, but they don't like kids. I'm sure you've met a teacher or a person or two. But I really do. I find them interesting and funny, and even when they irk my entire soul, as no one else can, they intrigue and they inspire me to do this work better. Some see them as a political convenience or a photo op, but I enjoy them. And as stressful as all of this has been, as much as my life I've aged in dog years in the last 4, I genuinely enjoy this work, and I have not missed a single day of school this year. I'm here to shape the next Hidden Figures, but I don't have interest at all in hidden agendas. And so if you're serious about bringing real change to the 3rd oldest public high school in the country, then I say, please reach out to me and let's do this together. I thank you so much for your time.
Dr. Honig next.
Good evening. Welcome board members, Interim Superintendent Gregory, Newark Public Schools staff members, parents, families, students, and community members to the Barringer campus. We are thrilled to host this month's board meeting. This school year has been one of change, transition, and community building for us. Our school welcomed over 200 students from high schools across our great city, including the closed charters and other Newark public schools. The acculturation and community building process took several months, and we are proud of the work our young people have done to engage in developing into a community. A recent and very powerful example of this growth was our students' participation in our remembrance ceremony that took place on March 14th. As students across the country engaged in a walkout, our entire school united in peace and hope, remembering our Malik, who was killed by gun violence in our streets last spring. I was so proud of the compassion our young people showed toward the Florida shooting victims and their families, as well as those from other locations, including Columbine and Sandy Hook. Our kids represented the city of Newark so incredibly well, and decided to start their own movement for peace in our school and our city, which is beginning after spring break.
Students there walk out of class today. New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson is live in Newark and continues our coverage. Anthony.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of students, not only here in Newark, but all over the state, did walk out today. Last numbers, some 300 school districts did have a walkout, took place at 10 o'clock this morning. Obviously, all of these students want to have their voices heard, but some of them are already saying they have to do much more than just protest. The students gathered to show their support for the victims of the Parkland, Florida school shooting and to call on political leaders to make changes in gun laws to keep kids safe in schools and on the streets. But several protesters say students themselves should help others who have been picked on or bullied before they act out.
I believe that people have a lot in their head, and if you speak to them, it'll help them slowly progress to becoming a better person.
Those thoughts were echoed by others who feel that mental issues play a big role in the school massacres.
So many lives have been lost, not just in schools, but family members, people have lost. And I think it's very important that we all speak up about it.
There was a 17-minute moment of silence to remember the 17 victims of the Parkland shooting and 17 balloons released in their honor. City leaders supported this rally, acknowledging that gun violence all too often plagues the city of Newark.
Guns that are not legal in the state of New Jersey find their way to the streets of our community because there is no national sensible gun legislation that bans these automatic weapons across the nation.
The hope is the national conversation on guns and gun violence will continue until there is a change.
This is a day of action. we spoke about it here. I think we're going to talk about it more in there and make something out of it.
Yeah, and students in several districts have launched a voter registration drive. They say they want to get all of these students who are 18 or about to turn 18 registered to vote, so their voices can be heard in the upcoming November election. That is the latest live from Newark, New Jersey. Anthony Johnson, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Anthony.
Last school year, we decided to embark on a redesign initiative to make overall improvements at our school, which we began this school year. A core component of our plan is using design thinking to facilitate project-based learning, an initiative led by our newly created design team. We chose this format because of its rich research base and anchor in empathy. Teachers were trained, facilitated the design challenge process in our grade level advisories, and students led the projects and logistical aspects of this initiative. We are taking an integrative arts approach, beginning with our 9th graders, where students design, research, build, make, and paint all in the same space. Our mural project is underway, and you can see the children's artwork all throughout our school. Our next component is personalized learning, in which our 9th graders are engaged in a blended learning model where they work on a platform, complete tasks where they extend their learning, and apply what they've learned through working on their projects using design thinking. We replaced their traditional desks with tables, flexible seating, and open, homey environments. Our culture and climate work features positive behavior supports, which features our 5 school-wide expectations represented in the acronym STARS. We are safe, treating others the way we want to be treated, always doing our best, respectful and responsible, and our 3 core values are be brave, show up, and I am enough. This work is led under the direction of Ms. Kamisha Stewart, a member of our student support team, and our student ambassadors who represent each homeroom and have worked on the planning, execution, and design of this very important work. We're very proud of our programmatic developments and partnerships as our young people are continuing to engage in school and our learning community. Joining me this evening are a few of our staff members. I want to thank you so much for coming out during spring break. You guys are awesome, and I deeply appreciate it. And we have 3 of our young people here with us this evening, Christopher Ohms, Juanita Perez, and Jaralise Perez, who'd like to come and share a few words with you and joining me in welcoming everyone this evening to the Barringer campus. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christopher Ohms, and I'm here to express the positive impact that Barringer Academy of Arts and Humanities has on me. Barringer is one of the many homes for its students and staff. When I first came to Barringer, I was a very, very shy person. I didn't know anyone. I had had teachers in the past who loved me, but not as much as those how I found here. It was here I found my very own Auntie Mojica and Big Sis Tap Tap, aka Miss Tapia. Even before them, Barringer proved to me that those here are here to help students reach the top and become the very best of what they do academically. Barringer also had the best protector, and that's Dr. Honig. She is the type of person who will do everything in their power to help others to reach their life goals. Being in this school has helped me to become a better person, the better person I am today.
Hello. Good evening. I'm Yarlis Perez, a scholar at Barringer Academy of Arts and Humanities. Going from one school to another was a big change and upset in my life. But now actually being in at Barringer, I see it's not the school everyone used to talk about. Noticing all the opportunities that are offered here is a true blessing. Knowing that this academy can actually lead me on the right path towards success and a bright future, as well as a better overall state of life. I am proud to be attending this school, learning from the wonderful teachers here. As a 16-year-old student, I am striving for the best in my future. I am currently progressing and achieving my goals in art by completing multiple portfolios and creating 3D figures. This school is a great place for me to work towards my future. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Walner Perez, and I'm a student of Barringer High. Before I start, I just want to say that I used to live in DR, Dominican Republic. Before I came here, already my family was calling me of what school I was gonna stay in, and my cousin, I remember he called me one and he was like, "You know what school you're staying in?" I was like, "Well, which one?" He was like, "Barringer." I was like, "Yeah, and what's wrong?" He's like, "Well, it's a bad school." I was like, "I doubt it. It can't be that bad." In DR, I've been to many bad schools. Well, it's not like all of them were bad, but somewhat, yes. So I was like, Barringer can't be that bad. Since I came here, the first days, it was scary since I was the new kid. It was kind of different from what I'm used to and very awkward. But as the days have passed, just like it was all the contrary. I didn't see what people were saying. Well, maybe few fights, yeah, but from the kids, it's their issues. But after that, I've been well received by the teachers. It was very welcoming by the counselors, by everybody. I consider Barringer to be one of the best schools I've been to, and it has everything I need in order to learn and be able to graduate. I've seen kids in school complain about not being able to connect to the Wi-Fi or not being able to use the Chromebooks because sometimes there weren't enough. And I just laugh because seriously, like they just use that sometimes as reason to say that Barringer's bad. And from the inside, like just criticize it sometimes. But I laugh because they don't know how lucky they are to even have those. In DR, it's not bad having Wi-Fi, but it would have been very, very useful. They have many opportunities and they don't use it. Barringer is really incredible, and it has changed my life in two ways. First of all, it has some way made me a better student, better learner, because in some subjects like history that are not my strong points, I don't know how, but I end up learning, and even in English, which was very hard, but I got used to it. And besides that, it has offered me like many college opportunities and taught me what steps I need to use in order to use it, like what steps I need to do in order to get the best ones and to achieve my goals in life. Thank you.
Thank you. Next order of business is recognitions. I'm sorry. You said Steam video? Can you show Steam video? Thank you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the way. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Thank you so much. All right, so that concludes it. Thank you so much.
Broken down
and I
and
just wanted
tired of living life.
Mr. Chair, I just would like to quickly acknowledge Mr. Vernon Pullins, who's the vice principal here at Barringer High School, and also I would like to commend all of the staff and students for coming in during their spring break. I think that we should acknowledge that.
Thank you. At this time, it's recognitions.
Good evening, everyone. Today, the Board of Education would like to recognize 3 students from Barringer. The first student, if you're here, please come to the stage. Salma Wartang, in honor of being accepted into the W.E. Du Bois Scholars Program, as well as a certificate of recognition in honor of being accepted into a summer youth exchange program to Japan. Let's give it up for her.
We're not sure if she's coming from Barringer STEAM or Barringer High School. If she's not present, if the principal or rep from the school can come up and grab her certificate, please.
The next student we will be recognizing, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. It's presented to a student in honor of being accepted into the W.E.B. Du Bois Scholars Program, Olawusumbola Oye. Are you here? What campus is this student from? the arts and humanities. And the last student is Jerry Uwa, in honor of being accepted into the W.E. Du Bois Scholars Program as well.
So we know it's March and it's election season for the school board. So I wanted to take this time to recognize my two board colleagues who have served with honor and have went above and beyond their duty as board members to serve this district. Ms. Fonseca is not here, but she should be on her way, so when she comes, we'll make sure we do it. But I want to bring up right now no other than the Honorable Dashe Carter. So there's no perfect family. Everyone have a dysfunctional family. Sometimes you argue, you fight, but you don't allow other people to fight your family. And Dashe have went beyond the call of a board member. What I admire about her the most is she done what some of us couldn't do. She went to school, she was in the military, she went to work, and still came to every board meeting. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't do none of that at the same time. So I commend her for her outstanding work she done on the board, all the initiatives she helped lead on this board, and she's truly gonna be missed. So I just want everyone under the sound of my voice just to stand up and let's honor our very own Dashe Carter.
Good evening, everyone. So I have the distinct honor and pleasure of also recognizing someone up here today. They said he couldn't do it. He ran when he was 19 years old, went through an election and won. Ran a second time off the line and won. Ran a third time and won. The longest standing board member on this dais right now is Chairman Lewis. Give him applause. So when he became chairman, they said he can't do it. Not gonna lie, Steve. Telling you, he's not gonna do it. And I said, yes, he will. He has fought through so much adversity. He has been through so much in this district. 2 superintendents and now 1 interim. And he's still here. They said city of Newark, the kids couldn't learn. They're learning. They said the Newark Public Education under advisory, now it's local control. Still here. And he was a big part of that. We'll give him applause for that. So today, he's a father, and he is the chairman of the Newark Board of Education under local control, and that is huge. And something else about him. He is the only standing master board member on this dais. This is a master board. He's the only one that's a member. So his accomplishments have gone leaps and bounds of what the expectations were of him. So I will tell you, being home here in the North Ward, in my school, Barringer, I'm a Blue Bear fan all the way. Let's give it up for Barringer. Come on, let's give it up real high. Let's go. Okay? But he has done a phenomenal job, and I think it really, really, really is fitting that I am here doing this with him. Mr. Lewis, can you please come here? I want to thank you for your years of service. I want to really thank you for your years of service, Marquise. You've really, really gone above. And also, wait a minute. He is an ordained minister now. An ordained minister. And he's not even 30. So you want to talk about being homegrown, going and doing things that nobody would ever think that you're going to accomplish. So for these students in this room, don't ever underestimate that you can't, because this is living proof right here that you can. Mr. Lewis, thank you for your years of service. I applaud you. Thank you very much. Let's give Marquise a nice round of applause. Thank you. Come on, stay. If you would.
I just want to correct one thing. Tave said that I served under two superintendents. I actually served under 4 and 1 intern.
There you go.
Next order of business will be minutes, approval of minutes.
2 sets of minutes, the February 20th, 2018 board business meeting, the February 27th, 2018 regular board meeting. Is there a motion to take them together?
Motion. Second.
Carter, second. Bledsoe?
Second, yes.
This motion to take these minutes together, moved by Ms. Carter, second by Mr. Bledsoe. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Is there a motion to vote on these minutes?
Motion.
Padilla?
Second.
Garcia? This is a motion to vote on the 2 sets of minutes, February 20, 2018 business meeting, February 27, 2018 regular board meeting. Roll call, Mr. Bledsoe?
Yes.
Ms. Carter? Ms. Gaddy? Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Vice Chair Padilla?
Yes.
Chair Lewis?
Yes.
Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda.
A student rep report.
She's not here.
Oh, she not here? No. I would like to have a motion from the board to go in to bring an executive session up for personnel items to be discussed in negotiations.
Who moved it? Carter. Second by Garcia. This motion to go into executive session for the purpose of personnel and update on negotiations.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, can we have discussion?
Yes.
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out why, or why we're not gonna do the board chair report and at least superintendent report first? Any particular reason?
It's just my recommendation that we move up and do executive session first.
But don't we have
a
to,
motion, a second on the floor.
don't we have to put a motion on the floor to change the agenda?
That's what we're doing. That's the motion.
All right, so I think it's a motion to amend the agenda to add executive session at this time precisely, I guess, right?
Okay.
All right. Get that, Ms. Jones? All right, so this is a motion to amend the agenda and to add an executive session at this time. It was moved by Ms. Carter, second by Ms. Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain?
No.
Nay.
Okay, I got 2 noes. Motion carries.
3 noes.
All right, so I have Bledsoe, no. Carter, yes. Ms. Garcia? No.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
Tave.
Ms. Johnson?
No.
Ms. Owens?
No.
Mr. Padilla?
Yes.
And Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
I got, well, I got 1, 2, 3, I got 3 noes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 yeses. It passes.
Pass. So now we're going to executive session?
Motion. Oh, it was one. You guys
One,
gotta be
Mr.
clear.
Chair.
Have to be clear.
How long?
Our executive session will be 45 minutes to an hour.
We should have just went straight into executive session.
Oh, you, sir. Ladies, enjoy. Thank you for coming. Why you leaving, man? I was in the council meeting all day. I know.
Can everyone get to the stage?
You know I'm getting ready to talk about it.
First of all, I'd like to have a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Second.
This motion to reconvene from executive session, moved by Ms. Garcia, second by Vice Chair Padilla. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? We're back in open session.
First, I would like to apologize to the public for our long executive session. But this week's was very long due to us not being able to have executive session during our business meeting. At this time, we will continue our meeting by having the board chair's report. Good evening, Superintendent, fellow board members, both leadership teams at the Barringer campus, families, and viewing audience. Please allow me to recognize our women in our district and on this board that have been making our ancestors smile through your amazing work in your daily lives. This is Women's History Month. I would like to salute the women in our district, in our community, that fight on behalf of our children every day. Can we please give them a round of applause? At this time, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for the first African-American administrator of Newark Public Schools, Dr. E.M. Flagg. Thank you. We also would like to add educator, former educator, as well as Miss Owens, the mother of, many of us know her as Queen Latifah, but Dale Owens as well. I'm excited about the progress that we are making in this district. The district that raised me and helped shape and mold me into the young man I am today. Our district is focused on implementing curriculum that will help prepare our children mentally and physically, mentally and socially for the life through the Amistad curriculum. In our operations committee, we're discussing building permits, capital bond projects, and operational policies that will help our district operate. This is a bittersweet day, as this will mark my last board meeting at Barringer High School as a board member and a member of the Board of Education. In the past 9 years serving on this board, we have done so many amazing things. I have accumulated a great wealth of experience. I learned to deal with many personalities and how to get results. Despite the naysayers, I wake up every day with one thing on my mind: doing the right things for the children in this city. I knew that if I do that, that local control will come in a matter of time. My faith in God kept me humble and helped me stay grounded. I always communicated with the staff, parents, community stakeholders, and students with respect. The community spoke about transparency when I first was elected into office, and by the end of my first term, I was able to sponsor a policy to televise our board meetings with the support of my colleagues. As I reflect over my tenure as a board member, I can't help but to think about the many different policies that I helped co-sponsor, such as our uniform policy, which also was created with the help and partnership of our students and the community to be implemented. I was against closing many of our schools because I believe that our schools had the ability to strive to success with the proper resources and help if it was supplied with it. In my tenure, I can't help but to be proud of the moments when I stood with members of our SAT coordinators, substance abuse coordinators, which they were called, guidance counselors, social workers, and attendance counselors, saying they too had a place in this district. I served under 5 superintendents, 6 board presidents, and 3 mayors. I will always treasure the moments I shared in this district that raised me and made me this person who I am. The many school openings, expansion of programs, meetings, graduations, and ceremonies was all worth it because our children are succeeding better today than they were yesterday. I would like to take this time to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to serve on this Board of Education. Yes, it's bittersweet, but because of your faith in me, I was able to serve as a member of this board. twice as your vice president, and currently as your president. It was not an easy road, but I was able to weather the storm. I learned a lot, so that's why it's hard right now for me to say farewell. But every ride comes to an end. This is just my end of this chapter. I thank you for this opportunity. I thank you all for your friendships, your prayers, and your support. As I close, the bit of advice that I would like to give to the people who come and take these seats as we leave is always be committed to our children. Always treat people as if you want to be treated. Understand that you're not above no one, but you're just in a position to serve. It's up to you how you want your legacy to read. Do you want to be known as a person who believed that they were better than someone because of a title? Or do you want to be known for the person that just got things done? I learned because I fell down sometimes, but what made me stronger is that I was able to get back up. Focus on my beginning goal, and that was the children that we serve. Thank you, I thank you, and I thank you. God bless Newark Public Schools. God bless our parents. God bless our children. Let's move forward, Newark Public Schools.
Mr. Chair, may we...
Ms. Carter.
May we do...
Oh, that's what I'm about to do. I was about to do that. So, earlier today, Ms. Fonseca wasn't here because she's a working woman. But it gives me honor to recognize, what's so crazy is that we're at the end of Women's History Month. And I have the honor of recognizing two women who were my running mates, but made me look good. They often say behind every great man there's a strong woman, but I had the pleasure to be in the middle of two great women. Ms. Fonseca, with her wealth of financial background, knowing how to look at a budget in and out, and with her advocacy for the children of the city, served us well in her 3 years. She served on our finance committee, and even though I was the chair last year, she actually ran the committee because she knew more than me about it. And I wanted to commend her on your great work that you've done in this district, and your name will always live in the Newark Public Schools. Come on, let's stand up, 3 years. I just want y'all to know something. After I leave, y'all might be looking at an all-women board, so.
Oh, Reggie's
still here. Next, our order of business is our superintendent report.
Good evening, family members, community members, respected and esteemed Board of Education members, Newark Public School employees. Due to the length of our executive session, I am requesting or suggesting that I move the superintendent's report to the April 16th meeting so that we can get right into public participation.
All right.
Thank you.
Next order of business is our public participation.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the public participation portion of the meeting. As a reminder, time limits for all speakers are enforced. There's no sharing or granting of speaking time to others. Speakers must be present when their name is called. Speakers are required to give their names and addresses. The public participation portion of this meeting is limited to 90 minutes. Examples of unacceptable behavior that are not permitted include but are not limited to naming district employees and engaging in personal attacks, slurring, excessive loudness, calling out, yelling, generally disruptive behavior, attempting to disrupt the meeting, or inciting others to do so. Public participation in board meetings is intended to allow individual members of the public the opportunity to address the board and administration on issues of public concern, not a forum for two-way dialogue with board members or district officials. The superintendent or designee or board chair may respond to questions at the end of the session, or responses may be provided at a later time. The superintendent, designee, or board chair may interrupt any speaker or terminate any speaking privilege if the speaker's comments are disruptive or obscene. An individual may be cautioned that a personally directed statement may be slanderous or defaming, and the individual may be liable for his or her statements. Attempts to hijack or filibuster the proceedings, repeated interrupting or badgering the board chair or district officials, repetitive and truculent speech, or other disregard of the rules of decorum are not tolerated and may subject the individual to removal from the meeting. If necessary, the meeting may be adjourned.
First speaker, Bradley. That's the wrong list. Okay, so I was right. Bradley Gomia. Gomia.
All right. Do I have to say my address or something? Yes? Oh, okay.
You can start.
11 Clarion Lane, Newark, New Jersey. First, I would like to start off by saying thank you to Ms. Owens for working with the selection committee and mentioning or bringing up more community engagement in the process with the choosing for the new superintendent and potentially incorporating an interviewing process. And some of those community members being students, especially, that's good. But if any time we should have more students involved in the policies that affect them, it's now with the move towards local control. We need, and I think how that can start getting more students involved is allowing them first to be able to have a vote, like the student representative to have a vote, because like all of you up there, the student representative is also a democratically elected member of the board, and they should be able to affect the policies that they're put up there to affect and be able to actually change things. I know there's a problem with actually having them go back to the personnel things because of confidentiality and stuff, but once those final three candidates are put out there, it's already public. It's that nothing's confidential anymore. And at that point, I feel I know that that would be the first step. Getting the student representative to be able to vote for the superintendent would be the first step to incorporating the student voice more, or the student, or giving us more of a power to check the policies that affect us. Moving beyond that, back to an update from last meeting about the demographics issue at Science Park High School. At the okay. So the list that Newark Enrolls currently holds is still based off of the 70%. Well, it was decreased from 80%, but now it's 70% based off of Park scores. And well, first off, we all know about the demographics issue at Science Park High School. There's a lack of black males at that school, and it's especially a problem because Science Park High School is a magnet school. It's the only one of its kind. It's the only one that focuses on science, and I know for sure that not only white and Hispanic people like science, so there should be like a higher amount of black people in that school, especially black males. And parents have been meeting on this for a few months now, from all the way back like November, I think. And it's been brought up before, but basically 70% is not enough. And you can look at the statistics from the New Jersey Board of Education, and you can easily see that Park is type racist, to be frank. Like, black people score lower on those tests. Therefore, anything based off of the Park, as I brought up last meeting, would yield the same results. And it's not a surprise when you look at these results and these numbers that there's honestly...
Mr. Bradley, your time have expired. Thank you. We'll make sure that you get a response back, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Next speaker, Dal Martin. Not appearing. Jamaris Nicholson, Jean.
Good evening, members of the board, community members, educators, scholars. I want to first thank the board for reaching out to me in regard to my request about substitutes and parent engagement at Luis Munoz Marin. However, in reviewing the facts, the fact remains that Luis Munoz Marin is still flooded with unqualified substitutes. When I say unqualified, I mean these substitutes, there are three different types of substitutes that you can have. There's the one with 60 credits who's merely still in college. There is the one that is possibly retired and returning to the classroom to sort of continue some sort of activity in the school system. And then lastly, there is the substitute teacher that is fully certified, but is still seeking a full-time employment. And so we have in Luis Munoz Marin many of the 60 credit substitutes who are there and have not been trained on pedagogy or on classroom management, who merely are still bullying children, are still responding disrespectfully to children. And this cannot continue. Also, in addition to that, there has not been any publication of PTO meetings or Parent-Teacher Association meetings at Luis Munoz Marin. It doesn't exist at Luis Munoz Marin. Those meetings that are occurring, they are not valid. If they are occurring, they're occurring off the record, and they're occurring with a select few of parents, the ones that continually are Hispanic. And nothing's wrong with Hispanic parents coming out, but also there's a huge black population at Luis Munoz Marin, so parent representation from that demographic should be reflected as well. And I think I mentioned this at the last board meeting, and of course, the email that I received in response was highly in favor of the principal who's there, who, by the way, is still refusing to be visible inside the building. So how can you have effective student achievement if you don't have visible leadership, if you don't have leadership that is open to making changes, not just academically, but also socially? And so I think many of the members on this board should be coming out to Luis Munoz Marin to actually see what the issue is there, because it is indeed visible. No one needs a degree to come in there and actually assess the sort of inequities that are occurring at Luis Munoz Marin. The principal has to go. I will continue to stand here before you and say the principal of Luis Munoz Marin has to go. It doesn't matter if Aníbal Ramos is supporting her. It doesn't matter if Crystal Fonseca is supporting her. She has to go. Thank you.
Ernesto Alston? Not appearing? That's not you.
Ernesto and Che,
Next week, Christian Candidate.
Hi, my name is Christopher Canick. I work at Central High School. I now live in Bloomfield, so not quite so far away as last time I spoke. I've missed a couple of meetings. I've wanted to see how the transition took place. I also am a little heartened. There are a few things that a lot of general public members probably don't know about, like Teacher Talk, which is an email that comes out to teachers. And of course, anybody who's here today has seen this document that often summarizes the same things that are in Teacher Talk. And for a number of years, this was a real pain, because every time I would open one of these or read the Teacher Talk email, it was an advertisement for how amazing the charter schools are doing in the city of Newark. And that's not lost on me. I appreciate any performance that our school can, or our school system can offer children, but to see it constantly and to be inundated with the message that somehow charters are so superior, I'm glad that Mr. Gregory, whose face, you got to get some new pictures. All your pictures look like they're just re-image of the same thing. Anyway, I'm glad that I'm not seeing the charter school branding all over the place anymore. I'm very happy to hear that and to see it. And the reason is very simple. I follow the actual data, not the data that gets shown in Mr. Cerf's presentations when he was here, but the actual data that I didn't get counseled on or told was right or this or that. I get the data that's actually reported to the state. The data that says that across the state, charter schools are only taking 9.7% of the population when it comes to special needs classification rate, and public schools are taking 15.6%. Additionally, the high-cost disability rate, if you look at Newark City, the percentage of students who are considered high-cost special needs is 49.4%. In charters, it's just 32.5%. I could keep going on. I'm going to keep going on because I got 40 more seconds. Newark has a district special education rate of 14.5% this year. The charter special education rate is 10.4%. So not only are they enrolling fewer students who are special need, but they're also enrolling cheaper to educate students. And the way they get away with this, the way that they do this is they don't offer programs. And one of the reasons that One Newark has been so quote-unquote successful, perhaps that they'd even sign on to it, is because they designed the recruitment system and helped have a say in that so that they could ensure that by not offering a program, they can guarantee who goes to the school and who doesn't go to the school. My final part is, and I realize my time is up, but I just wanted to read one last statistic, and I hope you'll let me. It's that 11.8% of the city of Newark is LEP, that's limited English proficient. 1.2% of the charter demographic is LEP. That's 1/10. That's incongruous, it's insulting.
Thank you
and
so
it's
much.
degrading.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, Donald Jackson.
All right now, Marquise, you said that with conviction. Donald Jackson, 79 Tracy Avenue, Newark, New Jersey, 0108. Every time I get up here, this mic is flimsy, so I'm gonna just hold it. I am saddened to see Marquise leave, Crystal leave, Dashay leave, and yes, we have had our arguments. I'm not gonna lie. Like you said, Marquise, every family has their argument, and some of my best fights have been between people I love. Why? Because if I feel like you're wrong, I'm gonna challenge you, and then that can make us both grow, because maybe I'm wrong. So you need that balance. With that said, I don't agree with the political climate to make you all not run again. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me, I know better. There's no reason why Dashay shouldn't be running again. Marquise, you should still be on this board. Even though me and you battle, and we gonna always battle, because you my brother. You don't like it, too bad, get over it. Ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do about it. I love you, you my brother. There's no reason why you shouldn't be on here. Crystal, I appreciate the fact that you're running for East Ward, even though this meeting isn't about that. But I feel as though you should still be here as well. And even though things in my personal life made me not run again, deep down inside, I wanted to, even though it was time for me to leave because of politics. And politics always ruins a good thing. And I could say a whole lot of stuff here tonight, and I could hurt a whole lot of feelings because I can care less. But I'm gonna move on to my topic and why I came here tonight. A Facebook post I ran across, a former board chair, Ms. Perillo, put up a post about the naming of Solomon Gorer, I probably said the name wrong, excuse me, school, which was formerly known as, I believe it was First Avenue Annex, First Street Annex. Then it went to North 10th. Then the petition went out. And a current board member kind of had some belittling comments about how it wasn't a real resolution, even though the state recognizes that school's name to be changed. And the community went out and got petitions and got over 1,000, I forget the number, but they wanted that school changed in their neighborhood to reflect the Dominican community, which they felt they were not represented, which they had every right as citizens of the city to do. And I speak out against that to say this. If you're unknowing about the fight, if you're unknowing about what happened, or if you're unknowing about certain board members' participation on this board while they were here, don't belittle them. Don't speak out on them on things you don't know, because it was a challenge. You think you guys have some issues, particularly newer board members? 3 years ago, this was hell. 3 years ago, you couldn't even walk into Cedar Street. And some of them folks that's sitting on that side will tell you. As a board member, oh, why are you in central office? What are you doing here? Do you have a meeting? Excuse me. I belong here. I'm conducting business with Newark Public Schools. That's what I was elected to do. The challenge was real. I can go on, and I'm gonna go because my time is up. 3 minutes ain't hardly enough. But don't belittle a former board member because of a disagreement. That's totally wrong. And particularly if you don't know the issue, or particularly if you don't know that person's commitment.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Next speaker, Donna Jackson. Not appearing. Next speaker, Yolanda Johnson. Not appearing. Next speaker, Maureen Robertson. Miss Robertson.
Love you too.
Greetings, Maureen Robinson, 428 Doyle Street, Elizabeth, New Jersey, Central High School, currently confined with 13 others to an oppressive and punitive terrorist cell at Harold Wilson School that serves only as a form of psychological debilitation designed to punish, destroy, and cause the slow deterioration of one's mental capacity to the breaking point of destruction. The school district of Newark, New Jersey has a bona fide written policy against nepotism. Down through the years, I have complained in my speeches about nepotism, cronyism, discrimination, favoritism, racism, cover-up scams, the fighting, the pulling of fire alarms, and the need for more security at Central High School because the school is not a safe learning environment. Well, now that the Good Old Boys Club is back in power under local control, which I too marched for, regrettably, I, along with a number of aged employees, have been victimized by the district's practice of nepotism and age discrimination. And in spite of having been cleared of all the principal's bogus and conspired lies, I am still sitting in the rubber room. Why? Many teachers are being victimized by many teachers are being victimized by the current illegal policies and practices of the previous administration. There are $500,000 worth of employees being confined to the rubber room on a daily basis with unqualified substitutes to, time up, I got another minute, unqualified substitutes to run our classroom. This is a waste of federal tax and local dollars. Several weeks ago, the male principal of Central High School forwarded copies of various incidents of violence and disciplinary problems at Central High School that were usually covered up and not reported. That didn't sit too well with the principal, since informants have it that she is being considered for a position downtown. I understand that this office is no longer considered the discipline office, that issues of discipline have been redirected to the main office. They think because I'm sitting in the rubber room, I don't get information. Several weeks ago, a young female teacher took selfie naked pictures of herself on her cell phone. One of the male students stole her cell phone, and since she did not have a lock-up pin on her phone, he put the naked picture of her in cyberspace, snapshot, and some of the students took screenshots.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Of her naked body.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Next speaker.
It's okay, Marquise. You know what? We waited for you 2 hours, baby. You know I love you.
I know. Next speaker, Jaleesa. That was her. Jaleesa Vasquez. She here? Next speaker, Lucius Jones. Not appearing. Next speaker, Lyndon Brown. Not appearing. Next speaker, Wilhelmina Holder.
Good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. The next time y'all take an executive session, I think what we're going to do is when you come back, we're going to be seated in your seats, and we're going to be conducting board business. Please be respectful of our time. The other thing is that there are 3 things I need you to do. Audits. Audits of the teachers. Maureen Robinson is right about one thing. we are afraid of the teachers that are being pushed out, and there are teachers who are being pushed out based on the length and their gender and their years of experience and their certifications because they're more experienced, and it's a budget problem. So I'd like to have an audit done school by school to see who's teaching the children for the year 2018, 2019, and what they look like, who they are, how many years of experience they have. Because nowhere should I hear, as I've heard, that a veteran teacher or veteran principal has 4 years experience. That's an oxymoron, and I'm hearing it all the time. The other thing is an athletic audit. Too many of our young people are going away to JUCO schools, low GPAs, no SATs, poor transcripts, but we allow them to play. May we have an audit by audit of those children, where they go, what schools they attend, what their GPAs look like, and we need to really drill down on that because this is just harmful. I've seen some of the children back on the streets now, and it's really pathetic. And then the other thing we need is an audit of the credit analysis, where our children are at this moment in terms of secondary graduations, what shape they're in, what their plans are, because we need to do something different about guidance. And I think we had that conversation with the superintendent about it, and Secondary Parent Council, along with the Newark Public Schools, will have a guidance summit and say what we think it should look like with the help of some of the guidance counselors who are performing. The other issue here is at Louis Marin. There is a problem there. One of the parents that I advocated for has had problems with bullyism, as well as the fact that the children were left alone in the classroom. And it was a child that went to the main principals and said, "Where did the teacher go?" No one even knew the teacher had left the school, and it was a sub-teacher. There is something going on at Louis Marin. Please pay attention. There is something going on. We need to do a walk of that school to see what is going on. And the other thing is that there is a problem with our children are out this week, and not many had homework packets. I can tell you that for a fact. They come in the library, and we have to give the homework. 13th Avenue in particular, 7th grade, only the science department gave homework. No ELA, no math. What are we doing, people? What are we doing? Can an audit be done as to find out what was done for the children this week in terms of homework or assignment or project packets? Let's be careful as we move forward. No, the charter schools are not better than Newark Public Schools. They can never be. The special needs children, I just left this morning, the Newark Kids Count. They're not taking their share of our children. You are absolutely correct. The number of special needs children in charter schools are actually on the decline. The ELL, the kids who are harder to teach, the charter schools are not taking. We need to pull them out of one Newark enrolls. If they won't play by the book, they need to have their own enrollment system and let everybody know just exactly where they are. Some of the kids are coming back damaged to us. In terms of transcripts, we can't figure out what's happening with them, as well as the fact we like to have our money the minute they transfer back to the district schools. We don't want to wait till the end of the year.
Thank you, Ms.
We need
Holder.
our money on a quarterly basis.
We're working
I
on that.
think you're working on it,
Thank you.
but guess what? It's not fast enough. Thank you.
Jessica Tenisaka. Not appearing. Next speaker, William Lee. Not appearing. Last speaker, Michael Furman. That is the end of our speakers list for tonight. Any board members have response to the speakers?
And I sign up every meeting, so how am I not signed up?
Thank you.
I have a right to question it. I sign up.
Not back and forth, please. Thank you. Any board members have responses? Okay, I would like to ask the district that please look, spring, can we please have our assistant soups look into the spring break packet, Mr. Superintendent? Yes. And also, this is my third time requesting a walkthrough of Harriet Wilson.
Mr. Chairman, that's already been arranged with the Executive Director, Paul Engel.
So why was I notified? Okay. Well, please add that to my calendar. Also, if we also look into that, do a program instruction, look into that teacher audit, if we could get that teacher audit done. Personnel?
Yeah.
Okay, stand corrected. Personnel, vice chair is here, so, all right? And athletic as well. Athletic is operations. We get the audit for athletics as well. All right? Next order of business.
I have a question.
Somebody said they had a question.
That was me,
Oh,
Fonseca.
Ms. Fonseca.
I know we don't have other items or new items, so when can I say what I have to say?
You can do it now, Ms. Fonseca.
Can I do it now?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a few things.
Go ahead, Ms.
All right.
Fonseca.
All right, so at the last, like a few meetings ago, it was mentioned about crossing guards. So I wanted to get an update on that. Like, I don't know if the committee, I remember it was under operations, but I had asked about crossing guards, and I know they're not hired through us, but they're at our schools, and I wanted to know, like, how are we going about that process, like a refresher training? And I also, because some of the schools are really big, I know it is, but they were supposed to give us an update. That's why I said I know it doesn't come out of us, but no one gave us an update, and I had asked for that a few meetings ago. So the reason why I asked that is because some schools are bigger than others, and some of them only have one crossing guard. So if the school is really big and they got to cross a whole bunch of blocks, how do we have one crossing guard? So I had asked about that a while ago. I also asked about, and I know again it's a city thing, but the request had to come from the district about the stop signs with the flashing lights, specifically where schools are. So I brought that up only because I know we spoke about it a few months ago with the public. And then the other thing is that I wanted to highlight again that I want translation available at all times at any meeting. I've been talking about that my whole time on the board. I don't care if it's a 30-minute meeting or it's a 5-hour meeting, there should be translation available at all times because it's the population we serve and we just need to be mindful about that. And I'll save the rest of my rant for my last meeting, but just one more thing I wanted to close on. With regards to board members' requests, I did mention in executive session, like Ms. Nancy is phenomenal at responding, but I think there needs to be a stronger emphasis on other staff members because although board relations is sending it out to the appropriate parties, I personally have not received information that I've asked for regarding the bullying process and questions I had about the Ann Street situation. So I just think that the staff needs to understand that when a request comes from board relations, it's obviously coming from a board member and we need the response in a timely manner for a reason because we're getting our doors knocked on, right? Like we're the ones out there. So if they could just please cooperate. I know everybody's busy, but we're doing this voluntarily and they're working for the district. So I just wanted to make that a public statement because a lot of times we have these issues and we have family members come up here and then it's like lost in dialogue. So just reiterating that. Thank you. Sorry about taking up that time.
Thank you. No other board members? Next order of business will be our votes.
Finance, operations, facilities. We take them as a package? Okay. Is there a motion to take the finance, operations, facilities as under number 13 as a package?
Motion, Fonseca.
Fonseca.
Second.
Garcia on a second. Motion to take all finance and operations items under 13, including facilities, as a package. Moved by Ms. Fonseca, second by Ms. Garcia. All in favor?
Mr. Chair.
Any opposed or abstained?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I just need to 13.12. I have to abstain on that item because it's involving an agreement with the state of New Jersey.
Okay. So when we take the vote, just specify you abstain as that item. This is a motion to take the items as a package, however. Moved by Fonseca, second by Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Okay. Is there a motion to vote on the items?
Motion, Fonseca.
Fonseca.
Move it. Move it.
Padilla on the second. Roll call for the finance operations items. Bledsoe?
Yes on everything except for 13.12, abstain.
Yes on everything, abstain as to 13.12. Ms. Fonseca?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Padilla?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Finance operations items approved. Legal items, 2 items. Is there a motion to take them as a package?
Motion, Fonseca.
Second.
Motion to take the legal items under 14.0 as a package, moved by Ms. Fonseca, second by Vice Chair Padilla. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. Is there a motion to vote on the legal items?
Move it.
Second.
Padilla, second Bledsoe. We don't need a roll call on this. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Okay, legal items approved. Personnel.
Personnel, arson, we're gonna separate.
Break out something, right? Say something. What is that?
Arson, you check that shade, she's not here. Oh, wow, sorry, check that shade, she's not here.
There you go.
While you guys figure it out, just kudos to the legal team and finance on everything on the general consent for the legal items, because you guys worked really hard at it, so I know you guys get yelled at a lot. Kudos to you guys.
Thank you. Okay, so I believe the item that we're going to take apart is the position in board relations, right? Is that the only item for this separate vote? Is there another item?
Termination. You go ahead.
Yeah, I can't actually. You see if we can answer? There you go.
Vote on termination separate.
Right. Okay, so let's have I can't ask. Rob. Yeah, I can't access the. I'm logging in. Okay, I got it. All right, so let's, board members, let's take the new hires.
Nobody got a question. Let's just vote on it. Yeah, nobody have a question, just vote on it. We got
All right, so let's take all new hires with the exception of the position in board relations. Does that capture it? All right, board members understand that?
Yep.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to break down the personnel items into different motions in terms of the appointments, determinations, promotions, reclass, and transfers. So the first item would be all new hires and appointments with the exception of the position in board relations.
All positions.
All positions with the exception of the position in board relations. Can I get a motion? Garcia, second.
Low second.
Johnson. Okay, this is a motion to approve all new hires and appointments with the exception of the position in board relations. Roll call, Mr. Bledsoe.
Yes.
Ms. Carter, Ms. Fonseca.
Yes.
Ms. Garcia.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Owens.
Yes.
Mr. Padilla.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Okay, all appointments approved. Now can we have the position in board relations? Motion?
Motion.
Garcia. Is there a second?
Second.
Padilla. Okay, this is a roll call vote for the proposed position in board relations. Mr. Bledsoe.
No.
Ms. Fonseca.
No.
Ms. Garcia.
No.
Ms. Johnson.
No.
Ms. Owens.
No.
Mr. Padilla.
No.
Mr. Lewis.
No.
Motion fails. I think that the only other issue is the terminations. So let's come back to the terminations, and let's do the promotions, reclassifications, and transfers.
They were all good.
So this is a motion to vote on all promotions, reclassification, and transfers. The board okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Padilla, Garcia. This is a motion to approve all promotions, reclassifications, and transfers. Moved by Mr. Padilla, second by Ms. Garcia. Roll call, Mr. Bledsoe.
Yes.
Ms. Fonseca.
Abstain.
Ms. Garcia.
Oh, no. Yes.
Wait, what
Ms.
are we?
Johnson.
Terminate.
Okay, once
this is
again,
the-
we're voting, we're not voting on terminations right now.
I'm
We're voting on all
confused.
promotions, reclassification, transfers. Everybody clear on that?
Yeah, I wasn't confused.
Okay, I tried to say it very clearly. Can we try it again? Okay, this is all promotions, reclassifications, and not terminations, okay? All promotions, reclassifications, and transfers. Can we do it again, Mr. Bledsoe?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Fonseca?
Abstain.
Okay. Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Padilla?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, so promotions, reclassifications, and transfers are approved. Terminations, I think there's one individual we're going to take separately.
Yes, I want to take First Avenue
Okay.
teacher separate.
Okay, so we're going to take a motion out of the vote on all terminations with the exception of the First Avenue teacher. Can I have a motion?
Wait, he has it.
Yes.
Yeah, these are all it.
Only remaining items are terminations.
Mr. Chair, just a point of clarification. Under promotions, we have the position for the board relations coordinator under that section. It's not under new hires.
Okay, can we transfer those votes?
Wow. That's why we couldn't find her on the first
We got that, right? Okay, we understand the board's intention there? Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, Mr. Bledsoe.
one. But they're gonna correct it?
Yeah. I think we all know the position we're talking about.
Yeah, so we clear. Now we're going to separate First Avenue teacher from the terminations and vote on it separate.
Everybody clear on that? Okay, so this is a vote on all terminations with the exception of the First Avenue teacher. Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Padilla. Second?
One second.
1 second. Okay, just to clarify, this is to vote, affirmatively vote on terminations of all personnel with the exception of the First Avenue teacher. Mr. Bledsoe?
Yes.
Ms. Fonseca?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Padilla?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, remaining personnel item is the First Avenue teacher. Is there a motion?
Move it.
Padilla? Is there a second? Second to vote on the termination of the First Avenue teacher?
Second.
Garcia. There's a motion to vote on the termination of the First Avenue teacher, moved by Mr. Padilla, second by Ms. Garcia. Roll call, Mr. Bledsoe.
No.
Ms. Fonseca.
Abstain.
Ms. Garcia.
Come on.
Yes.
Johnson.
No.
Ms. Owens.
Yes.
Mr. Padilla.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
No.
Motion fails. Remaining items, that's it. Project Control Board, I'm sorry, we have to vote on the Project Control Board. Did we already do that? You got that in there, got pulled out?
Yeah. I
So
just
we're all-
need.
we did all the voting items?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
I
great.
just need that to be noted as an abstain. That one.
So that's the end of our meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
No, the comments.
We did not vote on that.
We did.
We firmly voted on that, right?
We voted.
Do we have a record of firmly voting on it?
Program instruction?
Thank you, Ms. Owens. I'm sorry, I'm losing my agenda on my screen.
16.0.
Can we go back to program instruction, please? Yeah.
16.0.
I apologize. Our computers keep shutting down, so it looks like.
Please, can we go back to program instruction on the screen, please?
You be ready.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Owens. Can we have a motion? Can we have a motion to vote on the program instruction items?
Motion.
Let's.
Second.
1 second.
1 second. This is a motion to vote on the program instruction items listed under number 16, moved by Mr. Bledsoe, second by Ms. Fonseca. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Program instruction approved. I think I said, right? We have a vote on that capital project? We did. Okay, good. So the only thing left is adjourn? Anything else?
Is that it? That's it? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. I got Garcia and Bledsoe. All in favor?
Aye.
God bless. Good night.
God bless America.